For starters, passion, persistence, prayerful. Well, I think I dreamt of working on radio when I was in P3. It was like a dream. And yeah, it came true, of course, from seeing different personalities that I admired back in the day. I listened to much of radio. That's why I thought that I would become a radio presenter sometime in life. It was the time I went on air for the first time. Of course, I was on air for the first time here on Cruise FM, the 1st of January 2021. I can never forget that day. It was memorable and still reigns in my head. I was just in an hour surprised. I was like, who am I to be here making it to the biggest radio station in the world? Well, I think I won't say the secrets, because if I give out the secrets, that means it becomes useless for me. So I would keep the secrets for myself. Let the hustlers also come, find their ways out, and they say how they can make it to, yeah. First of all, you have to have the passion first, yes, but you have to be patient. When you have a monetary mind, when you're going to work on radio, you might lose out. Be patient. Good things will find you as you take the lead. Well, for starters, my final destination is the US of A. I've dreamt of being in the US ever since I was a child. So I think if I ever went to the US, that will be my final destination. Never and you type RIP. Because we all agree, even the person actually interviewing me, that it's the biggest country in the world. Oh, everyone's dream country, most probably. Well, the inspiration, of course, drew from way back, because in school, first of all, I thank God for the voice He gave me, and that's why I called myself the Voice Voyombara. So I had to use my voice to, be versatile. Yes, radio is here, but how can you really go into the world there and make it happen? So I think emceeing, I said in school, back in the day, I was the chairperson or general secretary of clubs in schools. So I used to be literally an MC for most of the clubs, Interact, Nkoba Zambogo, Scripture Union, all those clubs. I was the main MC, and all the events that were hosted at school back then, I would host them. Well, I think it was Eddie Kenzo, because he's one of the biggest we've hosted here. He didn't know me, and maybe I can add another, MC Katz, because he's my idol in the game of MCing. When he came through and we interviewed them, they had some parties to attend this side. I was so excited to meet my idols I had never seen. Well, people get surprised when they know that I do a lot of charity. I'm not trying to pride about it or brag, but I help a lot of people behind closed doors. Sometimes people need it to be in camera, but I do that. A lot of them can attest to this, or even they can testify. Magezi mpola mpola naye sikiteeka mu kamera lwakwati yeyo tuli mu kamera so mba lino kyogerako. Well, my childhood nickname, I think from being a toddler at around P5, I was called Matama. I had big cheeks and people used to call me Matama. So every time someone would send me, let's say, a matchbox or anything, any item at the shop, they would be like, Matama! Matama. So I was called Matama because of the cheeks. But I think now my body is balancing. Tegachali Matama. Yes. Akunaira awo nze tuli tuti lwakwate bampanga ku ssente, but I'm a Nile fanatic. Size ogiraba naye I'm going to try. Let's try again next year. I would say my birthday, because I'm celebrating myself. So I think that's my biggest public holiday. Of course, it doesn't concern other people, but to me, it's a public holiday because I go out there and spoil myself. Yeah. When Miss Uganda came on air, actually, we had a time there's a time I hosted Miss Uganda here. Hannah Karim, I think that's her name. I stand to be corrected. Yeah, she came here. I was like, Zem Molina. So as in an hour, it was a different scene when I met her. Well, I want to own a house. That has been something I've dreamt ever since I was young. Because when we were going home back home, we rented. I think up to when I was around senior one. So I think one of the things I want to own is a big house, and I pray that God leads the way so that I can have one for myself. Well, I'm always on my phone, but I'm a prayerful person, so I first pray before I get to bed. Red. Not really. I'm a fan of local food. May I also rest in peace. My mom died. If it would be possible that I will switch life and she comes back on earth, that would be the best thing for me. Well, I reside in Western Uganda for now. You know, I side with a lot of kids that were coming from this side. So I think Western Uganda has been the best part I've ever visited here in Uganda. Yeah, so I've went almost all districts, and I hope in life I'm still moving. In the future, I think I'll visit other places around. But Western Uganda, yeah, man. Every successful man has a sad story to say. I'll skip it to that.